Thank you. The gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here today. Yesterday, your administration announced a new rule to address the so-called family glitch in the Obamacare exchanges. Previous administrations have not found legal authority to address the family glitch, despite a push from liberal advocates. I'm concerned that this administration is taking steps to interpret a decade-old regulation and is now unilaterally expanding Obamacare at taxpayer expense. If this reinterpretation of statute is legal, why wasn't the family glitch addressed during the Obama administration?
Congressman, thank you for the question. And as you know, it's very important because hundreds of thousands, if not millions of families depend on us getting this right on the family glitch. There should be no family that has to forego coverage because the breadwinner, the person who's working, who has insurance, can access that insurance, but all of a sudden, because of certain glitches in the law, the family must be excluded from that policy. That makes no sense. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that that's correct.
How much is this going to cost taxpayers?
Well, we think it's going to help taxpayers because they're not going to have to worry about having family members without health insurance. And so we think, just as the Affordable Care Act has proven its success for more than 30 million people, that taxpayers are going to find that they're going to save themselves a lot of money by getting rid of these glitches in the law that leave their family loved ones behind.
So what you're stating here is that taxpayers paying through the IRS and through the federal government and then to provide money to the provider is less expensive than the individual in a private plan.
We've been able to bring down the cost of health insurance
Yeah, but you
coverage.
subsidize the cost, sir, with
That's
taxpayer money.
Which means that those...
That's how you bring the cost down.
Well, but those taxpayers now are insured and don't have to use the emergency room as their first level of care, which costs the taxpayers, as you know, billions of dollars, because that's care that's far more expensive than any actual preventative or primary care.
This change also impacts employer incentives to offer family coverage to employees, even though employer-sponsored family coverage is working for millions of Americans. Will employers now be forced to invade their employees' privacy by collecting information about total household income? Will employers now be subject to increased penalties?
Actually, I think most employers are going to be happy that we get rid of the family glitch, and we are going to make sure we protect everyone's privacy. And I say that not just as the Secretary, but as the former Attorney General who fought very hard for privacy protections for the people of California.
Okay, sir. Mr. Secretary, under the Biden administration's watch, we have a crisis at the border. And I don't know what y'all talk about at cabinet meetings, but I hope this is one of the subjects that you talk about. Obviously, you know, you're in charge of health care in this country, and these open borders have exasperated the opiate epidemic in this country. I mean, it's said that we've lost over 100,000 people to fentanyl, and there's enough fentanyl in this country to kill every American 7 times. In 2021, there was a 134% increase in fentanyl seizures at our border, and you know, the administration barely allowed Title 42 public health order during the pandemic, but the CDC is now lifting Title 42. What is your position and what are you doing about the ongoing crisis of fentanyl pouring across our border as a obvious health risk? And have you spoken to the CDC about why they are removing Title 42 and discouraging that decision?
Carson, good question. You've mixed a lot of important policies into the question, so let me try to piece it out and deal with the 4 parts that we have direct jurisdiction over, and that is Title 42. Title 42, as you know, is a public health measure. It allows us, in extreme cases, to take actions which ordinarily the government wouldn't have the power to undertake, including, for example, under Title 42, quarantining populations because of the severe stress we're under because of, in this case, the pandemic. Title 42 must be based on the science and the facts on the ground in order to be able to survive a legal test. Title 42 has been in use, but CDC has been doing analysis on a constant basis about whether the science and the facts still exist to keep Title 42 standing. They have now reached the conclusion that those facts based on the healthcare, science and facts are no longer there to maintain.
Well, we have proof that there are health risks coming across our border, okay? I mean, we've got reports. Certainly, the administration must be must be privy to those reports, and we need to deal with it. One last quick question. I'm out of time. So, Mr. Secretary, thank you again, and I yield back.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate your refraining from that last question. We're on a very strict timeline. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Gentlelady from Washington, Ms. Jayapal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome back to the House, Secretary Becerra. It was great to see you yesterday. Thank you